Hello guys, well done for signing up to the longest aquathlon in the world, the Dyfi Aquathlon. I just want to use this video mostly to talk about the route because it's one of the most important things. This is all on the website, of course, weswimrun.org, and you'll find it there. Let's look into the route. The blue is the swim and the green is the running. So we can click on show map. You can download the GPX, which might be useful on the run. It will be arrow marked. I'll come to the run in a minute. But yeah, swim. So yeah, the main thing to start with in terms of the swim is the first kilometre. Let's zoom in a little bit. First, say 2 kilometres, kilometre and a half. Certainly this section is going to be fast moving water, and there's moored boats here. Okay, you go around the jetty from the beach. And you'd need to be sighting more than you usually sight. Okay, so I'm talking every 4 strokes, every 6 strokes, maybe no less than every 6 strokes, because, well, no more than every 6 strokes, because the water's going to be moving around about 8 kilometers an hour, 5 miles an hour, plus your swimming speed on top. So you're going to be moving fast in terms of swim speed. So yeah, every year some people swim into boats. Some people do not much sighting and swim right into boats and bounce off them. But it's nice not to swim into a boat at the start of a swim. So just do lots of sighting and anticipate. It's when you're used to doing it, it's not a problem. And I almost forget that not everyone's used to swimming in this kind of water where there's lots of tidal flow. So I'm trying to remember to keep going on about it. So just do more sighting, and it's that simple. The boats don't move. If there's a wind, they might sway a little bit, but they're all going to be on their moored anchor, being pushed inland with the tide. Okay, so that's it. I'll keep mentioning it, and hopefully no one will swim into a boat this year. So that's good. So that's the first kind of kilometre and a half, probably. There's gets less than that, and then there's no boats after kind of Picnic Island area, which is just there. If you're there in the area beforehand, maybe the day before, there's a nice walk. You can follow the coast through the village, and then it goes to Penhelig Corner where there's a pub, and you can actually walk on what's called the Roman Road. This goes right along the estuary, all the way to Picnic Island, and that's quite nice to do if you can. So, other than that, generally the swim, just keep within 100 metres of the north coast. So this coast here on the left as you're swimming, because that's the best flow. And if you start swimming off to the right, it becomes difficult to manage because it opens up quite a lot. So yeah, it's not that complicated. Stick within 100 metres of the shore on your left. Breathe on your left if you can to have a look. But yeah, follow the boats. We'll be going, the right way. So yeah, that's it really. And then in terms of what you'll see, so Picnic Island, you might not notice. It's not really an island as such. It's just it looks a little bit like an island. But Trevry is more of an island at high tide. So that does look like an island. That's at the 2K mark. So as you pass what's called Trevry, you can see it there. It's a tuft of land. And it looks like a little castle turret on top and a flag, Welsh flag. That's a good pointer. So that's 2K in. You've done that. Here, we'll come on to Google Maps in a minute, or Google Earth, because this is showing high tide here. So at mid-tide, there'll be sand here. So I advise generally for people to cut around it that way, where it is just about swimmable at mid-tide. You'll be starting at just after mid-tide, to allow for a good 2.5, possibly 3 hours of tidal stream helping you. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. High tide is predicted to be 10:41 in Abu Dhabi. The further up the estuary you go, the later that high tide becomes. So at Pennell, the finish point, the high tide will be around 20 past 11. 20 past 11-ish. It's always different every year in terms of conditions and this, that and the other. But yeah, okay, back to this section. So Google Earth is quite useful. It shows, it's just kind of come around like so. Okay, so here we go. There's the jetty, that little sticking out bit there. We'll be starting on the beach here, and you can see the moored boats. As you go, just get rid of that. As you go past the village, that's Penhelig corner there, sorry. And then Roman Road starts here. Now, where is Trevory? There it is. So this is the 2K mark. You can see this is good. This is a sandbank that will be there when you pass this point. So you can either go scoot around left. The tide tends to push you right. Guys, these sandbanks, by the way, do change. This one's pretty stable, but they do change a little bit each year, but they're more or less the same. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But the tide tends to push you, hit the rocks here and push you right. That's okay, but just don't go too far right. And eventually, the Google Earth images go a bit dodgy here, but eventually it deepens up again around about here. So about 300 meters after. So you can swim as much as you can. It's faster swimming with the tide than wading. Okay, so this is a potential wade zone, but try not to wade. If it's elbow deep, so like, I don't know, 2 foot deep, you can just about swim in it. Try and swim as much as you can. Try not to wade because it's slower. You lose the flow benefit, and it can be quite soft sand. It's just slow. If you have to wade, then wade. But it is possible to swim the whole route without wading. But that's one of those points. Okay, so there we go. Crack on. Let's go back to our original map, which is here, and zoom back out. And that's it. Next thing to see around about the 4K mark is Abertafel. You won't really see any boats. You might see the odd, but there's a little shingle beach. It's noticeable. If you're in the zone and you're focused, you might not notice Abertafel, but it sticks out a bit. There's a shingle, stony beach. You never know, there might be a couple of spectators there. But yeah, that's the next point. You will notice Frongok Boatyard, or Smuggler's Cove, as it also is called, because there's boats on land. There used to be a sauna there in the winter, but they had to move. But yeah, there's boats on land at Frongok, or Smuggler's Cove. And that's just over 5K. So yeah, that's a good point to notice. Again, similar to the previous point, it pushes you right around here. But just stay within kind of 100 meters of the land on the left, okay, the whole way. And then this is the trickiest, this next kind of between 6 and 8K maybe, is the trickiest to find the best route. And our safety team will be doing that, of course. So yeah, just follow them. That's that. Last year I managed to put some temporary buoys here to help, which was quite cool. So I'll do that again. It changes every year, this section, more so than the other sections. Let's just find it on Google Earth. Yeah. Yeah, it's you've come past Frongok there, and it's not that easy to see. But look, there's all sorts of sandbanks going on Google Earth, which have probably changed, so it's probably not that useful to show you that at all. So yeah, that's it really. But you kind of do a kilometre after Frongok, and then you start going right. But just follow the kayakers, and you'll be right. As it does open up here quite wide, and it looks like, whoa, where am I? It's a really wide section. But just keep swimming, you'll be okay. Next thing to clock is at the 8K, around about 8 kilometres, there's what looks like a wooden shed on your right. It's a bird lookout. So I always enjoy spotting that because it says, 8K. So yeah, look out for that one. As you come around here, you stay onto the outside of the channel, if you like. So again, close to the shore on the north side of the estuary. And then it kind of comes more central, and then over to the right. Generally, when there's flow, the outside of the curve is faster and deeper, generally. So outside of the curve, particularly in rivers. And it's almost becoming more river-like now. Yeah, and then there's a big Glandovey Castle, I suppose you'd call it, is there. You might spot that. There's usually a little boat, sailing boat moored around about the 9k mark. But yeah, just keep going, slightly on the right of centre. Not a biggie now, whether you're kind of middle or right, but it's definitely slightly faster flow on the right there. And then from this point, you'll see the train railway bridge that goes over the Dyfi estuary. That's a good 10k marker point. It's always a bit tricky to sort the water and energy there, but I'll put something in place there, and it'll be either before or after the bridge. A lot of people just crack on. Certainly the front runners tend to just crack on. The front of the pack will probably get to the railway bridge about an hour, maybe an hour and 20, something like that. The back of the pack, 2 hours. If you're not at the railway bridge within 2 hours, the last 3k are going to be tricky, but not impossible. But yeah, that's the goal. Get there within 2 hours, and you should definitely finish the swim section. Then it's kind of a straight swim, and then there's a sharp right turn at the 11k mark. Another good one. Sharp right. Really sharp, and then just keep swimming. 12k mark, you'll see what looks like a little island, bushy kind of island with trees. Just stay on the left of it. It's natural to kind of, it's not like a junction. You just kind of, generally everyone stays on the left of it. It's not a biggie, and you might not even notice it. But if you do notice it, it's the 12k mark, and then the last kilometre. If you've only made the railway bridge, say 2 hours 5 minutes, this last section, the tide might have turned. When the tide does turn, it doesn't immediately go bang, 8 kilometres an hour back at you. It builds. So initially, it'll be like half a kilometre an hour against you. And then it will slowly build to 1k. Yeah, okay. So just keep swimming and tuck in. If you are right at the back and the tide has turned, the kayaker will tell you what to do. But generally, stick in to the left, or yeah, you'll be all right. Just keep going. And then transition, where there'll be food, water, and bits and bobs, and your transition bags, of course. I will write down some info on transition details, but yeah, that's that, and away you go. Running now. A couple of things to highlight. So you run off. That's easy. You just follow the track, and then you go onto a road, short section of road, and then back onto tarmac, but towards the MacDonald estate, the Plas Talgarth MacDonald Resort. You run through, and this is the Wales Coast Path now. So away you go, follow the Wales Coast Path. I will signpost it, but there will also be lots of Wales Coast Path marker points that look like that, yellow and blue. Okay, you'll see them, but my arrows will be up too. So you've got a couple of things to look out for in terms of arrows and markers. And away you go. Someone last year, I think you come down a field. I think someone last year kind of carried on running down this way. So yeah, hopefully you won't do that. But yeah, just keep going, following the arrows and the Wales Coast Path markers, and don't do random turns. Then you cross the road. There will be definitely some water and some energy, probably basic jelly babies or something there. That's only about 3.5-4k into the run, but then you're going to go uphill quite steeply. Tarmac section, and 2 years ago, someone turned off to the right here and went away there. So don't do random turns, just stay on the mate, whatever the last arrow was pointing. And then you just keep going on this tarmac. It turns to trail around about 18 kilometre point, and past Bearded Lake, which is this one, Clynbarfog. You won't see it, but maybe if it's a nice day, you might see some walkers going off to Bearded Lake. Keep going, 20k, 21k of the 26, and then a bit more energy here. Keep going, and there's a left turn down and through into the village to finish. Now, shoes. In terms of shoes, you could potentially do this on road shoes. I'd just go trail shoes, keep it simple. There's one section that's the most challenging, I think, underfoot conditions, is this field. It's actually near the end where you're tired. It's this field, sorry. It's kind of an angle, funny angle. It's a bit sheep cow trodden. I have fallen over in wet conditions on this field, and in road shoes. So I'd recommend trail shoes. Keep it safe. And then it gets, there's a bit of steepness coming down here. So yeah, and into the finish. That's the route, guys. You can download the GPX file just on the left there. I will put timings and other kind of info in the email, but hopefully that makes sense, and you can study that as you like. But generally, the key thing is lots of sighting at the start of the swim. Keep within 100 meters of that shore on the north side, certainly to start with, until it becomes more river-like, and that's it really. Okay, looking forward to seeing you soon.